big ones. Nice long crooked ones. Nice pointy uptight ones. Big strong wide ones. Nice little perky pinup ones. Or as simple as little stick figure or anime noses. Today's topic is noses. Woo! Coming up next. Welcome once again to another video. Today's topic is going to be the nice big honkers that you guys have in the middle of your faces. We are going to be drawing noses. I'm going to show you guys how to draw some normal profile noses. How to identify the different parts of the nose so you guys can change that up and draw them any way you want. We're going to be drawing some 3/4 style noses as well. For those profile shots and those model shots and those pinups that we all really love to draw. And we're also going to show you guys how to draw noses straight forward in all different shapes and sizes. There's going to be a little bit of information here, but we're going to be just drawing as I talk, and hopefully we get a video that's very, very in-depth and you guys get to see a little bit more of how I think and how I see things and why I draw the way that I draw. There's a million different tutorials online, guys. This is just my way of doing it and the way that I see it. So feel free to leave some links on the comments if you guys know of any other tutorials that other people can watch. But let's start off with the simple concept of the nose. The nose on an average face sits roughly at the middle of the face. And it's a cavity within your skull topped with cartilage and fatty tissue and skin. Okay, so that's essentially one thing that you gotta know about it. It's something that sits on top of your skull. So that's gonna play a factor when it comes down to drawing, because you'll understand why in a second. Normally, whenever I draw heads, and I just made a video about how I draw my heads, so feel free to go check it out. But how I draw my heads, it's normally a circle to identify where the cranium would be, the skull. Then I make a tiny indentation in the front. It's going to be where the bottom of the nose is, or the top of the nose is, because I make a little ninja mask. This one allows me to know where the eyes are going to go, how far back they should be, so they're not too close to the back, they're not too big on the skull. And that's my way to measure out how I want to get the drawing done from the beginning. But in this case, to identify where the nose is going to be, I normally mark it from the bottom of the eyes, and then I extend a simple triangle or a simple shape that identifies what kind of nose it's going to be. If it's going to be a nice, like, long pointy nose, maybe you want to draw something like a nice quick little simple shape that looks like it's pointy. Maybe it's pointy downwards. So just draw a shape, kind of like Squidward. You just draw the shape down. If it's very strong, like bubbly nose, just draw a circle, or a half circle, or an oval, or point it up, to get like different effects, different looks. So with this simple shape, you can draw it in a ton of different, go in a ton of different directions, and then variations of it. You guys can see that in the actual head video. But for noses, we're just gonna apply the same simple shape. Circle, little wedge, on the front to identify where the jaw is. We put the little mask to know where the eyes are going to be. And then let's make just an average, you know, like an average male nose. We're just going to start with that. Then from that point on, you identify the bottom of the lip, the top of the lips, the bottom lip, the jaw, and then we can quickly just move on to the nose. At this point, we have our little simple shape. And then within the triangle, we got to identify where the wings of the nose are. So that would be roughly at the bottom of that initial shape. What this is, let me make it into the front view exactly the same. So you'll know it's exactly the same dimensions. Okay. So in this case, we would have the front of the nose right here. Depending on the width of the nose, we would have the bottom side of your nose here. We would go back up. And then the wings of the nose would be around here. I call them the wings because it looks like a spaceship. So if you draw a nose, and then you draw little wings at the bottom, then you have a cool nose. But it also looks kind of like it would a spaceship. I don't know why, but I always think of it as a spaceship. And I know what it kind of looks like. Don't say something. That's horrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, well, then we have the nostrils. And this would be this, but from the front. So the nose has a couple different sections, right? It has the tip of the nose. It has the nose bridge. And it has the two little side wings, handles, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so that's going to be the 4 little sections of the nose that you need to be concerned with. When you're drawing the profile, you draw the bridge of the nose. You draw the ball, like the front of the nose. Depending on the shape that you want it to have, it doesn't have to be a circle, but in this case, let's just leave it as a circle. And then you have the wings, that are another shape that's on top of it. So, as long as you think of noses in those 3 different shapes, 4 different shapes, then you can start having a lot of fun when it comes down to designing different, cool noses. So let's say that you wanted to change, in this case, it's like this, and like this. That's the same shape that this nose would be, right? And it gives you a nose of a normal person. Like, let's just say like the average Joe just walking down the street, or the average person that you would draw as a generic person. So let's say we want to change these shapes and make something more interesting. Let's just make a more complex shape for that part. Let's change this one up too. And this one as well. Right? So we have the 3 different shapes that consist of the nose. And just a super, super crooked, long, like a witch nose, right? Then it can be done like a bunch of different ways too. So let's play with variations. Let's make one that's like this, and like that. So I'm still going off a profile, so this could be round into bubbly, and this could be like for like a really charismatic and like childish, character. See what I mean? So if you play with different shapes, you can actually come up with really cool ideas. A lot of characters do take their looks a lot from what their noses are like. So you can have a lot of fun with it. It doesn't always just have to be the generic super perfect nose. Giving your characters a little bit of a here, let's make 2 examples. And sorry about the noise, guys. It's I'm like living next to a construction section. They're building houses, so I don't have much control over that. If I want to make content, I have to do it while it's out and about. So let's see. The average nose that I draw, a simple, quick concept that I like to approach is that whenever I make my faces in the front like this, you're looking at a frontal shot. I have my circle, and I like to draw the ball, like the bottom of where the nose is going to be, as a little diamond shape. Right? So if it's a really long nose, you start with the bottom, and then you go on to where the top of the nose bridge would be. If it's a really wide nose, and I'll explain why in a second. So right, so those are 3 different kinds of noses that we can draw, and the reason that I do like this, like a little diamond, like a diamond, not a triangle, a diamond, and then it's because it gives me a lot of information within that really simple shape. It gives me the bottom of the nose. That's where I start drawing the nose, like where I start drawing the shape. So even if it's a very long nose, I know that the mouth can go underneath that shape, right? That allows me to start seeing things in depth, and overlaying shapes is the way that you can go about, like drawing more complex illustrations. So in this case, that's the first step that I do, because I know that it actually has to point out of the face. If I just start going in and drawing noses without identifying where it's going to lay, it's never going to come out perfect. And even like this, it doesn't come out perfect because it takes a while to actually get right. But it's easier for me to do it like this and visualize it like this than it has been any other way. Let's see. Okay, I normally stop the top of the diamond wherever the top of the eyes are going to go. So where the eyebrow ridge, let's say, you can feel it right on top of your eyes. So your eyes would be like right here. So this is where I stop the top part of the diamond. So let's play around with some crazy shapes. This one's super low. Let's see like that. So in this case, that means that the eyebrow line is here and the eyebrow line is right here. So the reason I do that is to identify where the nose bridge is going to be. That gives me like a limit to where I should have to be drawing. So that way I know that no detail has to go over here. The eyebrows I already know the eyebrows are going to go right on top of that. The eyes are going to go right below that. And then the nose is going to extend like that. So it's the exact same with this. Let's say that he's like scrunching his eyebrows a lot, so he brought them down. Right? So that's like another way to go about it. Let's say you want something more complex. You want a wide nose, but you want a super tall, like nose bridge. So I would still do it like this. Draw the top of where my eyebrow line would be. And then from this point on, that's when you start just going in and refining the shapes. You can go in and make it thin after that if you wanted to add a little bit more complexity to the design. But I would always go with the super basics at first and then, dig into the design after that. because it's going to make it a lot easier to just like approach it like that. So now that we understand why, you know, we just draw a simple diamond in the front, let's go into detail into what you would add inside that diamond. And we'll draw the same thing. We'll draw a normal shaped one. We'll draw a bottom heavy one. A top. So one that drops down a lot. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So what you would add inside of this, below the middle line right here, this is going to be where your nostrils and where the little wingtips would go into your nose. Not too far up. Well, it could also go like that, but that's going into more exaggerating. In a normal nose, it would normally end up about no higher than like about half the nose. And then you just go in and develop your nose a little bit more. And then you keep on adding details. We'll go into a little bit more of what the volume of the noses should be, like the actual shapes. Right now I'm just trying to get you guys familiar with like the basic process that I use. In this case, let's say that I really wanted a really skinny nose, right? So a really skinny, but you know, like bottom heavy nose. So you could have this as the nose bridge. Again, we would put roughly where the nostrils would be and where the side parts of the nose would be. And in the middle of this diamond, that's where you identify where the bottom is, and then it gives you depth. Even on a super simple shape, just like a cylinder. There's another one right here. Let's say this one has like super large nostrils. And it's more like a caricature-ish type of nose. Yeah. Could be anything, any shape, and you guys can have a lot of fun with this. This is great to do if you guys are doing frontal shots of monsters, more like, and any sort of creatures. You can just get really fun stuff going on like that. So the same process can be applied to both, like, you know, to both ends. You can have like the shape method, drawing all four shapes, or you can just do the diamond shape thing. You know, it's another process, like super quick design process. Little diamond, and then you have your nose and the rough areas where you should be shading. So that's two approaches to it. The 3/4 view is a little bit more tricky, and I mean, let's just go into it. Yeah, let's just go into it. We're gonna start with the same kind of process, right? We have the middle of the face. I'm gonna draw my jaw, and that identifies a couple things. This identifies where the jawbone is. This identifies where the ears are going to be, where the front of the face is going to be. And in this case, I'm going to draw my little mask, my little ninja mask that tells me where the eyes would be. And this is where roughly the nose is going to go, right in this general area. But where? So with profile shot, with 3/4 shots, I like to follow the middle line up until around here, where the nose intersects, and then I bring it out and I do the same diamond idea. At that point of contact, I start doing the same diamond. So it sticks out, comes back in. So it's still 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. The only difference is this bottom part is exactly where the middle part of your face should still be. That way you can add your mouth. it gives you a good, middle ground for your mouth. And then it's the same concept. The bottom part would be where the nostril is, and you can just start building up from there. See what I mean? It gives you a lot of information with a very simple shape. And that's like the perfect shape to make for noses, in my opinion. Because even the diamond idea and 3/4. So you follow your middle line, and then even if it's just like a round nose, even just do a triangle or do like... The reason that I like to do more diamonds is because it gives you an idea of where the shading should go. So, because the noses normally have very sharp edges that change the lighting whenever it hits it. And even when they're round, like super like bubbly noses, it still has a little bit of that. So it's good to give yourself an idea of roughly where the shading would go anyways. Even with super round, bubbly noses like these. So the diamond is probably my favorite way of going about it. But like always, just make sure to post it in the comments and stuff. But let's see. I promised to show you guys how to draw anime noses, right? You guys ready? There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Please, please, please. Yeah, clap for me. It's okay. Ha 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 ha. No, but honestly, like when it comes down to anime noses, sometimes they are as simple as this, but they still apply the same concept. If you guys realize, sometimes they add a little bit of shading to the bottom of the nose. And then that's literally the same idea as the diamond idea that I was talking about. They just eliminate a line. So even this same concept can be applied to more comic bookish, more caricature-ish. Let's say you wanted to really exaggerate everything. You can get crazy. But it all has a foundation on, it's at the mustache. That's my mouth right now. It's my face. You can get really, really fun and like entertaining ideas by drawing things like this. Later on, you're going to start, I'll make an advanced nose video later on when it will come down to like breaking down every single plane of the nose, and how it's like I'm gonna really have to like dig in and like make sure that I know how to explain every aspect of the light hitting different parts of your body, like the contouring of the shadows of the nose, stuff like that, and the soft edges versus hard edges. But that's something that would take a little bit more time to explain. But for now, let's go back and review what we have seen. So, did we learn how to draw little chubby noses? I believe so. We can start with a diamond and then draw our shape within that. Boom, we have our little chubby nose. Did we learn how to draw big, nice, crooked noses? Well, let's see. We start with a diamond, and then we play with the shape inside. So I'd say that we can actually make some really nice crooked noses now. What was the next one? Oh, big, nice, sharp, uptight noses, right? So we have our face. Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna have our diamond. Our diamond. We know that this is the bottom of the nose, so we have our nostril, and then we just follow this to the mouth line. I like to think that that's a very simple way to make those. And they're nice, big, wide, powerful noses. So same concept, right, guys? Nice, wide diamond. And split it. Gives you the bottom plane of the nose. Boom, 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 boom. And then you just give it the shape you want. Have your big, wide nose. And last one. Nice, big, dainty noses. I like those. Those are like big, nice, and dainty noses. I like doing this for pinups the most because it gives you like, as long as you don't make the harsh lines, it gives you like nice, cute noses every time. Right, so we have a nice little pinup, like, nose. And with women, the less that you put details into the nose, the more like supermodelish they'll look. So, because you got to consider that like makeup is supposed to like hide, the contours of the face to make you look more young, stuff like that. So models tend to cover a lot of those lines up. So the less that you have, the better. This would be like a snobbish older lady, like, and something like this would be more like, girl next door, pinup, whatever. Anime noses. Boom, boom. Or boom, boom, boom. Or just little triangles. Quick and simple, guys. Quick and simple. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video a little bit. Hope it wasn't too long. Hope you guys entertained yourselves. And let me know on Instagram if you guys actually enjoyed the exercises. Please post up your drawings and tag me. Show me that you guys are learning from me, and then I'll love it. If I can, and I can screenshot it, whatever, I'll shout you guys out. I love seeing what you guys do for me, or with the information that I give you. So, you know what? There's some more videos up here somewhere. Check them out if you guys want. I will catch you guys in the next one. Till then, have a wonderful time.